Hi, my name is Oystein Solberg, and we're here at the Institute for Culinary Arts, where we're hanging out with Chef Michael Combs, and I'm going to give you guys some real local flavor today.
Yes.
Flavor of corn.
Yep, we do have good corn around here.
Fantastic.
Yep.
So what do we have here?
I think we're making we are making a warm corn salad,
It's
and
like you're psychic.
I know. I woke up and I showed up here today, and I was like, what am I gonna do? But anyway, so we have some fresh corn right here. It's still, in the husk and all that good stuff. So I'm gonna dehusk it real quick, just cut it off here, and then Chef Solberg here is gonna put it together for you, and so you can kind of see. But anyway, this is nice fresh corn. Usually, what I like to do is break off the bottom real quick. Comes out really easily here.
You're so strong.
I don't want it. That's harder to do when it gets older.
Yeah.
It just kind of bends. It doesn't pop off there.
That looks gorgeous.
Yeah, it is. You still have a little bit of the silk here. I can take that off.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because corn is such a cash crop, and really, I bet you throughout the day, no matter what you do, you're going to hold on to something that's made of corn, or you're going to eat something with corn in it in some type of way or another.
Whether it's corn syrup or whatever, modified cornstarch is, it's like everything in a half is made out of corn.
It is, and it's just a little bit of history. It originated from South America, the Aztecs and whatnot. And just so you know, corn didn't look like this when it first came about. It was almost like a little seed, and so this is one of the first vegetables in the entire world that was genetically modified by just crossbreeding.
Yeah.
And so corn did not look like this originally. It was just like a seed.
Yeah.
And so talking about some very smart people to be able to figure that out back, a lot of centuries ago.
Yeah.
So
It's crazy little fellas.
it is. So really, all I'm going to do is, to make it a little easier, I can pop it in half here. But
You're just showing off now.
yep. I'm just going to do it right onto a plate.
Beautiful.
And so that way you can.
Because that way it just stays on there. It won't be flying and flopping around everywhere.
Yeah, exactly. So
That's beautiful.
we can save these because we like to make like a corn.
Oh yeah, make like corn stock. Oh yeah.
Corn stock. It's awesome. You just boil them and then
Yeah, just simmer them in a little bit of milk, and you get great flavor out of them. But there's also different types of corn. There's different types of dry corn and stuff like that. So this is just a regular yellow sweet corn.
It is. Yes, there's different kinds of, especially in October, somewhere around there during harvest season.
But there's also different colors. There's black corn, red corn, blue corn. It's all sorts of shenanigans.
And they all taste different as well.
Yeah.
So
it's all good.
But it's nice. This knife is nice and sharp, so I'm just breezing through it. You'll see the difference between when I cut it in half. It just seems to stay here, but a little longer. It seems to kind of get everywhere on the plate. But either way, we got most of it on there. So.
Gorgeous. Okay, so I got a pan starting heating up right here. We had a little bit of bacon fat laying around. Whenever I cook bacon, as long as the fat's not burnt, I always keep it because it's delicious. And I don't know, we gotta have bacon fat around. But you can just use regular oil or butter or whatever.
Sure.
Bacon fat.
Why don't you use bacon fat and butter?
I think we're gonna use both. Okay, so you're just gonna add this in there. You're just gonna saute it real quick. My corn is pretty tender to begin with, so I'm not gonna do too much shenanigans to it. But you're just gonna let it saute a little bit, and it just brings out the sweetness a little bit more. And a little bit of salt and pepper on there.
I'll cut these potatoes up for you.
Beautiful. Thank you, sir. Add a little bit more bacon fat, because it's the right thing to do. Then we got some minced up shallots. You can add a bit in a dash. And we got some chopped up garlic. So basically, you're just gonna make like a warm corn salad. So it's just you can just kind of have it as a side, or kind of do anything you want with it. It's gonna be delicious. There, we got a little bit of deseeded and chopped up jalapeno. If you're not into the spicy, you can omit this as well and just use regular bell peppers or.
That's true. You can use that.
Or if you do really like the spicy, you can add habaneros or
And that's actually a good touch to it because it's sweet corn and.
Yeah. There's like a lot of peppers, like when you cook them, like they'll sweeten up a little bit. So like you can modify this one in all sorts of ways. So I'm just gonna kind of keep seasoning every layer as we kind of keep adding to it. This would just make for a more unison taste, really, and we kind of taste each ingredient a little bit better.
Yeah, it does. It sounds strange, but it really is a big deal. Like when you add salt and when you season it.
Yeah.
You know, if you make something all together and then you just season it at the very end, then you just have like that flat taste, you know, of everything. And so you want to taste everything, and they want everything to kind of come out. So that's the way to do it.
Especially when making like ratatouilles and stuff like that. Because like you usually cook one thing, season it, take it out, and then cook another, season it, take it out, and then combine them all together. And really when you kind of taste the most of everything. Like it's,
they're all cooked separately. There's a reason for that actually, just for that, to be able to taste everything.
Yeah, it's like magic. Okay, so we got some ground cumin. Like we just never used pre-ground stuff. Always just use cumin seeds and then toast them and crack them yourself. It makes like 19 worlds of difference.
It does.
Like it's a whole different beast.
It is completely different.
Like really any spices, like any spices you get buy pre-ground at store, like they've been ground for a couple of months or whatever.
Oh, it could be years.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just depends. You're
so
right.
like it's
when you do the oils, they kind of once they're ground and they're exposed like that, exposed to light, and just time and air.
They just flatten out so much. Like
it's like eating dust. Why not just put some dust in there?
I hate dust. It's my least favorite thing to eat. I'd rather eat a lot of things before dust. We got a little bit of cayenne. Just a little pinch. So it's gonna have a little bit of kick to it, but just a little smidge. And then we can add our tomatoes. So basically, just want to cook the tomatoes to kind of get the juices out of them a little bit too. Then we got some diced up mango. You can use pineapple. You can use papayas.
Oh, good idea.
I can use all sorts of stuff in there, but mango is delicious.
And those are like semi-ripe, right? So they got a little bit of hardness to them.
Yep.
Not too soft.
Yeah. But like if you got super slushy ones, like throw them in like a food processor a little bit, make a little sauce, and just kind of glaze it off in there.
That'd be good too.
You can
like a puree.
Oh yeah, it's real delicious. There, and we got to season a little bit again. There. And if you want to, you could add cilantro to this.
That'd be good.
You can add all sorts of stuff. And then we got some chives. So I'm just gonna turn off the heat. Just add all the chives. I love chives. They're fantastic. You can add cilantro, parsley, oregano.
Whatever you like, whatever you have in your kitchen, pretty much.
Yeah, it's wonderful. And then we got some chopped up kale. So this kale, we just took it off the stems.
Yep.
So it's just mostly just leaves and deliciousness. Just gonna add that in there. I'm just gonna barely wilt the kale down. Just like a little smidge and a dash.
That way you saw some of the crunch from the kale, but it's also still got its flavor. It is a different flavor whether you cook it or whether you don't cook it.
And a little bit of seasoning. Because like kale is just very hardy, depending on kind of what in the season is from. But if you get kind of young spring kale, it'll be super tender. Oh, it's almost like spinach. If you get it kind of late in summer when it had a lot of sun and stuff like that, it'll be hardier, a little bit bitter, so you got to braise them to kind of tender them up. But these ones are just super, just light and fresh and delicious. So that's basically it for that one. So we're just gonna pop it in the bowl right here.
It smells great. You can smell the cumin from it.
Oh yeah.
You can smell the onions.
Because like you can serve this as a side when you're having a barbecue. You can serve it as a main meal if you want to go like vegetarian. You can do all sorts of shenanigans with it. So right here we got like a avocado mousse, with a little bit of corn in it. So this is basically just avocado and sour cream that we just blitz up real quick.
Yep.
You can do a regular guacamole too, or even just add a pieces of avocado on top.
No, that's great. It has a little more fat to it, a little buttery note to it.
And this will kind of be just a good dollop straight on top. And that's all you need in life. Like it's just a steaming pile of just wonderful, delicious corn.
And it wasn't cooked like, until it's all cooked up and...
It's still got great texture, still got good depth of flavor. It's it's just a wonderful, happy little pile of I want to eat it all gone right now.
Right, and it's very easy to make, and it's pretty much
Yeah.
like whatever you have in your fridge. I mean, you can kind of,
Yeah.
with this corn, you know, just
Totally.
kinda, whatever you think is going to work together, and
Yeah.
I mean, it came out great.
We still kind of leaving the corn in the driver's seat like it's mainly corn, but I don't know. Corn can take on a lot of suits,
They can.
and you can kind of have everything chopped up already ahead of time. So when people are coming over, flop the doodle dandy, 3 minutes, and you got it on the table.
Right.
Magic,
Instant magic.
instant magic. That's the fastest magic there is, I heard. You guys should stay tuned, and we'll be right back, and we're gonna corn it out.
Yep.